Hey, seventh grade, welcome to two-step equations. Now, what you should really have is your Google form and your scratch paper for Nearpod. Now, it's totally up to you if you want to use the Nearpod and draw, or what you can do instead is use paper. So the difference here is now I'm just going to use the Nearpod to help you show your work. So now none of you have the excuse of I don't have paper because now you have the Nearpod. Great! But if you do want to use it, you could just upload a picture right here and use your camera. So you could do that as well if you want to use paper. Just upload a picture of your work instead. Okay, so what we are going to do is go over two-step equations, and this is example 1. So this says 4x minus 10 equals 14, and put the value of x as your answer. What that means is like just write whatever number you get as the answer. So let's go over this. As we know, we have example 1, and the equation is 4x minus 10 equals 14. And we have to figure out, well, what value of x is going to make both sides, okay, both sides of the equation true. So remember, in class, we first put a line down the middle, which shows us there's two sides to the equation here, right? Now we have the variable side and we have the number side. Is it always this thick? Like what? Oh, okay. Okay, so this side, the V, is the side with the variable, and this side over here with the N is the side with all the numbers. Okay, now probably makes sense to, when you're watching this video, to have your scratch paper like side by side so you could take down notes and actually show your work. Okay, so we want to get x equals. The point of this is to figure out, okay, x equals a certain number here, and we want to figure out what that is. But the goal is if I have x, that means we want it to be 1x. So we don't want 4x, we want 1x, and we want to get rid of this 10. So how do I get rid of this 10? Well, we want to make this minus 10 a 0. And last time it was plus 10, so we subtracted 10 on both sides. This time we have to add 10 on both sides because this is a minus 10. So minus 10 plus 10 is going to give me 0. It's not going to be like if we did this, if I did minus 10, that would just give me negative 20. That would just be 4x minus 20, and that's not what we want, right? We want to get rid of the numbers on the variable side. I want to get rid of minus 10, so I need to make this 0. So this would be not minus 10 on both sides, this would be plus 10. And as we learned yesterday, anything I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Remember Jaden and his chicken nuggets, right? His dino nuggets. So we add 10 on both sides, and then we kind of draw a line right here to show us that we are done with the first step. Okay, so minus 10 plus 10, that gives me 0, so that cancels out, and then I get 4x equals, and then we have 24. Okay, now we said we want to figure out what is 1x, not 4x. And this is telling me 4 times a certain number gives me 24. Some of us already know that, but again, we just need to make sure that we show all steps. So in order for me to get 1, I have to divide, since this is multiplication, this isn't subtraction or addition, I have to divide by 4, not minus 4, right? It would be minus 4 if we were adding 4 plus x, but here it's multiplication, so we kind of usually just do the opposite. So we divide by 4 on both sides. And you need to make sure that you actually show the fraction bar, that it looks small like this. Some of you were using this huge line. Nope, it's a little line that shows division. Just a little line right here. Okay, and then we get 1x equals 6. Because 24 divided by 4 is 6. And we divide by 4, not divide by 4x, because if we divided by 4x, that would give us a 1. 4x divided by 4x would be 1. No, that's not what we want. We want 1x. So that would just be 1x. So our answer, what we're saying is 1x equals 6. I just need to make sure that that's correct. And that's where we use the check step, where we check if x is actually right. So I'm putting in 6 for x. So this would be 4. Now if I just put 46, well, that isn't going to work because that just looks like 46. So that's why we put parentheses to show that it's multiplication. Minus 10 equals 14. And then we get 24 because 4 times 6 is 24. Minus 10 equals 14. And so here, 24 minus 10 is obviously 14. So we get 14 equals 14. And that's your answer. So now, when you go here, we made sure that our answer is correct. We know that it is 6. So all you need to do is type the value. Just type 6. And that's it. Next. And now we will go over example 2.